guys, it's Jamie. I thought that I would go ahead, and film a book reading update for you. It's long overdue. I've gotten through, I feel like, a ton of books. I was just looking back at the list from the last video that I did, which I put up, gosh, towards the end of March. So I'm a little bit late, and I wanted to share with you three new books that I've purchased myself, and then the stack of books that I've read. Some of them were not mentioned in last video because I've gotten them from my friend Mindy. She just kind of passed them over to me. And I can't wait to share some of them with you. Let's start with three books that I hauled. I got one from Target and two from Barnes & Noble. This is one that I picked up from Target. I did pick this up about a month ago, and I haven't read it yet. It is by Emma Chapman, and it's How to Be a Good Wife. What I do with these is I'm just reading the backs of them a little bit so you guys can get an idea of what they are. But this says Marta and Hector have been married for a long time, through the good and the bad, through raising a son, sending him off to life after college. So long, in fact, that Marta finds it difficult to remember her life before Hector. He's always taken care of her, and she has always done everything she can to be a good wife, as advised by a dog-eared manual given to her by Hector's aloof mother on their wedding day. But now something's changing. Small things seem off. A flash of movement in the corner of her eye. A lapsed moment she can't recall. Visions of a blonde girl in darkness that only Marta can see. Perhaps she's starting to remember, or perhaps her mind is playing tricks on her. As Marta's visions persist and her reality grows more disjointed, it's unclear if the danger lies in the world around her or in Marta herself. The girl is growing more real every day, and she wants something. Ooh, what could this be? I don't know. So this is on the list to read. The next one, I'm not going to read the back of this one really. It's by Richelle Mead, and it is the Golden Lily. It's part of the Bloodlines series that she has, and I've talked about Bloodlines before. I have not read the first one. This is the second one in the series, but I picked this up because I have a feeling when I read the first one, I'm going to want to launch into the second one. There are a bunch of these. They are about vampires and people that cover up stuff for vampires and humans and stuff like that. I'm not going to read, like I said, I'm not going to read the back of this one because I feel like I need to read the first one, the back of that one, and I have done that before. But yeah, it just says Sydney Sage is an alchemist, one of the group of humans who dabble in magic and serve the bridge the world of humans and vampires. They protect vampire secret and human lives. So there you go. And I picked up this one. Spoiler, I've already read it. Alice Clayton. It's called Screwdrivered. And this is about Viv Franklin, is tough as nails software engineer who crunches binary code as if it's candy. By night, Vivian indulges in bodice-ripping, corset-busting sex. Too bad it's all in her imagination. Vivian has a deep, dark secret. She's a romance novel junkie, and her fantasies are filled with strapping firefighters and bare-chested cowboys. She wants flowing gowns, a couch perched on a cliff, and a hero who will stir her loins. So when she gets a phone call that she's just inherited a beautiful old home on a cliff in Mendocino, California from a long-forgotten aunt, Viv moves her entire life across country to embark on a great romance novel worthy adventure, except romance novels always have a twist. The house comes with horses, a super hot cowboy named Hank who would ignite the loins of any red-blooded woman, and then there's Clark. He's a librarian, complete with glasses and tweed jacket. Clark is about as far from a romance cover hung as it's possible to get, yet Vivian has to admit he has a certain boy next door, something that's oddly exciting. I have read this, so I'll put this in the red stack now. These two came from Barnes & Noble, just in case you were wondering. Okay, so now on to the books that I have read. And I read a lot early on, from the last video through probably when I came down. No, I've read decent amount, but the last few weeks since I've been kind of sick again, I haven't really read that much. Let's start with this one. This is one book that is off the list of the 13 books I wanted to read in 2015. It's called Pretty in Ink. It's by Lindsey J. Palmer, and it just says, I hope this is okay how I'm doing. I hope you don't find it boring. For years, Hearst magazine has been a fixture on newsstands, relatable, reliable, and ever so slightly frumpy. But with sales slumping, Hearst editor-in-chief soon finds a pink slip in her inbox, and a ruthless, blistering, high-heeled replacement may not be finished cleaning house yet. Leah Brenner suspects she won't be on the payroll too much longer. A telecommuting, breast milk pumping mom of 3 doesn't mesh with her new boss, Mimi's version of a sleeker, younger, skewing hers. Not content with nabbing Leah's office, Mimi's protege, Victoria, is itching to take over Leah's duties too, and she's not alone. As the summer rolls out, the staffers are asked to give up even their sexiest secrets to save the brand. Everyone at hers, the new assistant, the photo editor who's sleeping with her boss, the Ivy League intern with oversized aspirations, will fight to keep her career and some shred of dignity intact. I have to say that I thought this was okay. I like books like this. I like more of the chick lit kind of books. There were a lot of characters. Each chapter, in fact, would go to a different character, and it'd come back to the other characters. But for some reason, I didn't love this one like I thought I would. I thought it bounced around a lot, and I don't know. I feel like it ended. I don't know. I just didn't care for this one as much. And I know a lot of people like this, so maybe it was the content more about the magazine world, which fascinates me anyway. But I don't know. I just didn't really love how this was put together. So sorry. I don't want to ever offend anyone, but I just didn't get any vibe for this one. Okay. I think I'll talk about these 3, the Alice Clayton books. So I read Last Call, which is a little novella, a really small one. Unfortunately, I read this first. I think I should have read this after these 2. It didn't ruin anything, but it does. Yeah, anyway. I would read the original ones that I've already talked about, Wallbanger and all that stuff, and then I would come and read these 2. And I believe this one, My Tied Up, no. This one comes first, Screwdriver, and then this one. And I will say, what I like about what Alice Clayton is doing is that in the original books, Wallbanger and such, you see the characters are kind of all intertwined. Like, Chloe in this book, the main character Chloe, her cousin is Clark, and Clark is in this book. And I really, really like that. And then there's some characters in this book that are friends with Caroline and Simon. And you do see Caroline and Simon in this book. I really like that. I like how she kind of keeps the characters around, and how there's a link, someone has a link to someone else, and you feel like the storylines just keep going. And I really, really hope that she writes more with these characters. I really like these. These are just super easy to read. They're so easy. You don't have to think about it. These are good, what I call bathtub reads. So I'll start with this one, Screwdrivered. Oh, wait. I already talked about it. I already read the back of that, so loved it. I really like Viv. I really like Clark. He seems so cute. Okay, enough with that. My Tied Up was super cute, and I think I've probably read the backs of some of these. No, maybe I didn't. Yes, I probably read the back of this one in the other video because I think I hauled it, but I'm going to read it again. Hopefully it doesn't bother you. The gossip mill in a seaside community of Monterey is churning about Chloe Patterson, the newcomer who's starting a sanctuary for rescued pit bulls. Oh, that was close to my heart. It's rumored that she's a former beauty queen, true, who ditched her fiancé the morning of their wedding, also true. And that while she's not looking for a new man, the good-looking local veterinarian has his eye on her, absolutely, positively true. When Lucas Campbell isn't at the family clinic, he's paddleboarding in Monterey Bay. Recently single, he's definitely not in the market for a new relationship, but still he can't resist taking a second, third, and fourth look at the recent arrival of Miss Golden State. Neither Lucas nor Chloe has any interest in being tied down. Being tied up, however, no, there's a thought, but are a few Mai Tais, a moonlit night, and the music of Frank Sinatra enough to allow them both to forget their past. Let's hope old Blue Eyes knows what he's doing. Mix one part tiki, one part kinky, and a slash of old black matchmaking, and it's time to be Mai Tied Up. Loved it. And this little novella about Caroline and Simon, it's kind of like the finale of their relationship, I guess. Sorry, I feel like Jade's running up the steps, but I've blocked them off. She's moving the gate. That little thing. Like I said, I'm sorry if I've read the backs of these before, but it's just how I'm going to do the videos, and hope it doesn't bother you. Caroline is now one of San Francisco's top interior designers with a schedule that takes her all over Northern California but still allows leisurely intervals at home. Meanwhile, globetrotting photographer Simon has severely cut back his accumulation of frequent flyer miles, so the happy couple are indulging themselves in their Sausalito Victorian with plenty of baked good, wall-banging nookie, and all manners of sexy times. The next step in their lives seems preordained: toast, veils, and an aisle of rose petals. But is that right for this unconventional couple? When a photo shoot in Southeast Asia brings a terrifying telephone call, Caroline begins to realize that "till death do us part" is not just a catchy phrase. Suddenly, conventional seems like not such a bad thing. Makes one part sexy, one part laughter, and one part naked. Flavor with a dash of exotic locales, a sprinkling of pink nighty, and served with a side of Clive the cat. Drink up everybody, it's last call. Loved it. Thought it was super cute, and was totally bummed that it was just a little novella. I wish you could. I think they're playing downstairs. That's what it is. I hauled this the last time. Lisa Unger in the Blood. I loved this. Loved it. This was definitely like a psychological thriller. You don't know what's going on, what's happening, and at the end you're like, what? I loved it. I loved it. When I started reading this, I knew that I couldn't just put it down. You know what I mean? Like, absolutely loved it. Yes, it had good twists for me. You think you know what's happening, but then it may not be what's happening. But yeah, I loved it. I'll read the back a little bit. It says Suspense Magazine Book of the Year. Ooh, I think it was good. Lana Granger lives a life of lies. She has told so many lies about where she comes from and who she is that the truth is like a cloudy nightmare she can't quite recall. About to graduate from college, she takes a job babysitting Luke, a troubled young boy accustomed to controlling the people in his life. But in Lana, he may have met his match, or has Lana met hers? When Lana's closest friend Beck mysteriously disappears, Lana resumes her lying ways to friends, to the police, to herself. Lana's story about her whereabouts doesn't jibe with the eyewitness accounts, and she'll do anything to hide the truth, but it might not be enough to keep her secrets buried. Someone else knows about Lana's lies, and he's dying to tell. This was so good. I would recommend, if you like that kind of book, like the psychological kind of thrillers and stuff, I loved it. And I've heard that she has a ton more books that I should look at, so that was good. And the last two books, Mindy, my friend Mindy, had read these and passed these on to me. This one's called The Good Girl, and it's by Mary Kubica. It looks like that. This was good too. Another like psychological thriller. I really liked this one. Did not expect, yeah, this is a good one. One night, Mia Dennett enters a bar to meet her on-again, off-again boyfriend, but when he doesn't show, she unwisely leaves with an enigmatic stranger. Yes. At first, Colin Thatcher seems like a safe one-night stand, but following Colin home will turn out to be the worst mistake of Mia's life. When Colin decides to hide Mia in a secluded cabin in rural Minnesota, instead of delivering her to his employers, Mia's mother, Eve, and Detective Gabe Hoffman will stop at nothing to find them, but no one could have predicted the emotional entanglements that eventually cause his family's world to shatter. It says the addictively suspenseful and tautly written thriller. The Good Girl is a propulsive debut that reveals how even in the perfect family, nothing is as it seems, and that's exactly true. I really enjoyed this one, and I if you like that genre, I'm leaving what I think is the best book for last, especially in that type of like a psychological thriller type of book. I think this one was so good. I knew Mindy was loving this book, and I couldn't wait for her to finish it. And she was like, "You have to read. Like, it needs to be bumped up on your list so we can talk about it." It is called Mean Streak, and it's by Sandra Brown. First Sandra Brown book I've ever read. I know she has a ton. It is so good. It's the best one that I've read. Yeah, it's the best one out of this stack. I don't know. It is one of my favorite books so far. I'll just say that. I'll read the back for you. Dr. Emery Charbonneau, a a pediatrician and marathon runner, disappears on a mountain road in North Carolina. By the time her husband Jeff, miffed over a recent argument, reports her missing, the trail has grown cold, literally. Fog and ice encapsulate the mountainous wilderness and paralyze the search for her. While police suspect Jeff of instant divorce, Emery, suffering from an unexplained head injury, regains consciousness and finds herself held captive by a man whose violent past is so dark that he won't even tell her his name. She's determined to escape from him and willing to take any risk necessary to survive. As her husband's deception is revealed and the FBI closes in on her captor, Emery begins to wonder if the man with no name is in fact her rescuer from those who wish her dead, and from heartbreak. Combining the nail-biting suspense and potent storytelling that has made Sandra Brown one of the world's best love authors, Mean Streak is a wildly compelling novel about love, deceit, and the choices we must make in order to survive. So good. If you like these kinds of books, go get it, read it, and let me know what you think. Because when this book ended, Mindy had already told me that she wanted more. But when it ended, I was like, I need more. I want like a follow-up book on these characters. So good. Yeah, I'm very, very excited. Let's see. I have one book I mentioned last time. I just started. I mentioned The Scent of Rain and Lightning by Nancy Pickard. And I have just started reading that and will report back to you. I don't have the jacket, so I can't really tell you, you know, what the cover says, but I'll report back to you on that. And then Mindy had given me this one to read sometime soon. I haven't started it. I have a little post-it to get ready to start it at some point, but it's another Sandra Brown book called Deadline, and she said she liked it. Obviously, this one has won out over all of them. But the back of this one says, Dawson Scott is a well-respected journalist recently returned from Afghanistan. Haunted by everything he's experienced, he's privately suffering from battle fatigue. But then he gets a call from a source within the FBI. A new development has come to light in a story that began 40 years ago. It could be the big story of Dawson's career. Soon, Dawson is covering the disappearance and presumed murder of former Marine Jeremy Wesson, the biological son of a pair of terrorists who remain on the FBI's most wanted list. As Dawson delves into the story, he finds himself developing feelings for Wesson's ex-wife, Amelia, and her 2 young sons. But when someone else close to Amelia turns up dead, the case takes a stunning twist, with Dawson himself becoming a suspect. Haunted by his own demons, Dawson takes up the chase for the notorious outlaws and reveals a startling secret behind their story. I had actually never read the back of this one. She gave it to me and I put it in my bag, and I had never read the back of it. So that sounds really good too. I hope you like these kind of book recaps. I will have down below links to these books, but I'll also have the books that I have left in my, to finish by the end of the year. I need to get on that. I still have several of those books to read. But I have really enjoyed reading still, and I'm going to continue to do that. I'm going to continue to do these videos, hopefully like once a month. I always enjoy your feedback. I hope they're not boring for you, but I'm never going to give away a book. So if you're looking for the type of book review where I tell you what's going on in it, I'm never going to do that. It's just going to be as simple as reading the back to you so you get an idea of what it was about. Without giving you any secrets, anything away, because I do not like that. I hate to flip on a video and someone drops a bomb and I'm like, what? I was going to read that or watch that. So, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys very soon. Happy reading. Bye.